Hello, dear Libra. Have you ever wondered if the moment you're living right now is more than just chance? That maybe, just maybe, something far greater, something cosmic has gently guided you here? Because what's about to unfold in this video is not ordinary. It's a sacred message, crafted by the stars and whispered directly to your soul. Welcome to Zodiac Whisper Tarot. And welcome home to yourself. This is not just another horoscope. This is a mirror into your destiny, a portal into the energy that surrounds you now. You see, the universe doesn't operate randomly, especially not with someone like you. Your presence here is a response to a spiritual invitation that's been echoing through the celestial realms, waiting for the exact moment you were ready to hear it. Libra, you are ruled by Venus, the planet of love, grace, balance, and beauty. But what most people don't realize is that your gift isn't just about harmony between others. It's about restoring equilibrium within. And right now, your inner scales are shifting. There is a rare vibrational current moving through your field, subtle, yes, but unmistakable. Your soul feels it. That inner flutter? That sudden craving for clarity, closure, or change. It's not anxiety. It's alignment. And I have to ask, what brought you here today? Was it curiosity? A restless energy that's been building inside? Or was it something deeper, a dream you couldn't explain, a sign that kept repeating, or an intuition so quiet yet persistent it couldn't be ignored? Whatever led you here, know this, the timing is divine. In this video, we will journey through the energy you're currently swimming in, touching on love, finances, destiny, and the soul contracts you may not even know you signed. This is a space of self-discovery. A moment to remember that you are not just reacting to the world, you are co-creating with it. And let me take just a moment to say this from the bottom of my heart: thank you. Thank you for your presence here. Every like, every comment, every subscription you bless this channel with helps keep these transformative messages flowing. Your support empowers Zodiac Whisper Tarot to continue serving as a guide for seekers across the world. You are not just a viewer, you are a part of this cosmic family. Now trust me when I say this, my beautiful Libras, you'll want to stay with me until the very last second of this reading. Because what the universe is preparing to reveal is nothing short of breathtaking. A new balance is forming. One that includes you not as someone caught in the middle, but as someone finally claiming your center. So before we dive deeper, I invite you to type the number 6 in the comments, a sacred number of harmony and inner peace. This isn't just for fun. This small act signals to the universe that you are open, ready, and fully here. Your energy is acknowledged, your voice is seen. Let's begin this journey together, because balance isn't something you chase. It's something you remember. And today, you're remembering who you really are. There's something quietly powerful about this particular moment in your journey, Libra. It isn't loud or chaotic, it arrives like a soft breath, a subtle shift in the atmosphere around you. But make no mistake, what is opening now is a gate of light, and you've already begun to walk through it. This is the kind of energetic window that doesn't just appear for anyone, it chooses those who are tuned in, who have done the inner work to sense the stirring before it even arrives. And whether or not you realize it yet, your intuition has already answered the call. As an air sign, Libra carries the gift of perception. You don't just see the surface, you feel the tension in the unspoken, the harmony in the unbalanced, the rhythm behind the silence. And with Venus as your ruling planet, your soul has a natural resonance with grace, beauty, and emotional refinement. Right now, Venus is aligning with Uranus in a rare astrological conversation, one that brings both disruption and divine redirection. It's the kind of cosmic alignment that gently reroutes the path you thought you were walking, offering you a more truthful version of the future, one where your inner harmony is no longer a wish, but a lived experience. The Justice card represents your energy perfectly in this phase. Not just because it's Libra's archetype, but because it speaks of sacred reciprocity. This card reminds you that what you give, you get not as punishment or reward, but as reflection. If you've been offering honesty, compassion, and grace, then now is the season for that same energy to echo back. That's why the shifts happening now aren't random. They're your own energetic seeds returning in bloom. There's something beautiful about knowing you don't need to force anything. The number 6 appears here not just as a symbol of balance, but of restoration, of bringing together what has long been out of alignment. 6 is the number of care, of inner peace, of domestic wholeness. When this number rises in your path, it's a quiet nudge from the universe that says, come home to yourself. Release the need to prove. You are already enough, exactly as you are. And just like a skilled painter doesn't rush a masterpiece, neither should you rush your decisions during this time. Your emotions are refining themselves. They are settling, aligning, elevating. Allow them the space to transform without pressure. Use this as a time to set intentions, not demands. Perhaps try writing down what you wish to bring into balance, and then release that intention through a simple gesture, like lighting a white candle or placing a small token of meaning near your bedside. These small, symbolic actions do more than just comfort us, they reinforce the belief that we are in co-creation with life itself. The pastel pink around you right now is not just a color, it's a vibration of emotional repair. It softens the places where your heart once hardened. The sky blue hue calls your thoughts back into stillness, helping you filter clarity from confusion. And ivory white, it protects, it purifies, it reminds you that stillness isn't emptiness, it's preparation. Sometimes, the clearest direction doesn't come in the form of a sign, but in a softened heart. In quiet moments, trust what you feel. If it brings peace, it is truth. You don't have to make every answer appear immediately. Some answers come not when you search for them, but when you create the space to receive them. That's not indecision, Libra, that's wisdom. And when you hear the still voice within, reminding you to wait, to trust, to hold your center, remember, that quiet knowing is often where the greatest strength begins. You were never meant to rush into becoming. You are meant to unfold. Slowly. Gently. Brilliantly. Some moments in life don't need to shout in order to be heard. They arrive softly, like a shift in the air or a subtle pause in your thoughts, yet they carry immense meaning. And Libra, what you're experiencing now is exactly that. It's not confusion, and it's not hesitation. It's a deeper form of listening. You've always been attuned to the space between things, between noise and silence, emotion and reason, action and stillness. That in-between space is where your true power lives. You were not made to rush toward decisions. You were made to understand the nuances before others even recognize they exist. The way you often pause before speaking or making a choice isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Many people move quickly because they're running from discomfort. But you pause because you want to do what's right, not just what's easy. That is a gift not everyone understands. And sometimes, because you feel everything so deeply, the world can mistake your softness for uncertainty. But your softness, dear Libra, is not indecisiveness, it is discernment wrapped in grace. You carry within you a quiet mastery of beauty, fairness, and inner balance. It's no coincidence that you often end up being the one others turn to when tensions rise. Your energy naturally creates harmony, even in the most chaotic rooms. But this season of your life isn't just about balancing everyone else. It's about returning to your own inner calibration. It's about tuning your life to a rhythm that's yours alone. When we think about personal growth, we often imagine pushing harder or doing more. But sometimes growth looks like setting something down, an old burden, a tired narrative, or the need to explain yourself. It can look like lighting a jasmine-scented candle before bed, or writing one sentence that says, "I no longer need to carry this." That small act, done with sincerity, sends a powerful signal to your own subconscious that you are ready for change. The High Priestess Tarot card beautifully mirrors this inner journey. She doesn't scream or seek approval, she knows. She trusts what she senses, and she makes space for silence to guide her. That's your energy now. Not the fixer, not the performer, just the quiet witness to your own becoming. There's a piece of gentle wisdom I'd like to offer here, something rooted not in doctrine but in human kindness. You don't need to prove your worth by being everything for everyone. What's meant for you will never require you to abandon your peace. When you create quiet within, life rises to meet you with clarity. That's when answers begin to unfold, not because you forced them, but because you made space for them to arrive. If you've been dreaming lately of soft colors, floating scales, or unfamiliar place, it may not be fantasy. It could be your inner compass nudging you, reminding you of what's already inside you. Your intuition isn't new, it's ancient. It's the quiet voice that has always been there, even before you had words for it. Trust it, even if it whispers. Let this be a time when you return to that inner wisdom without apology. Let yourself soften and listen without needing to solve. Write what you're ready to release, even if you don't know exactly what comes next. Light the candle not as a ritual of perfection, but as a promise to yourself, I will show up for me, even in the quiet moments. Because sometimes, the most powerful healing doesn't come from doing more, it comes from finally allowing yourself to be enough. Not every encounter in life is meant to pass through quietly. Some arrive with a stillness that speaks volumes, as if their presence stirs something ancient inside you, something you didn't even know had gone dormant. Libra, you are entering a time when such a connection may find its way to you. And when it does, it won't come wrapped in certainty or grand declarations. Instead, it will come as a recognition, a resonance. A look, a sentence, a moment that feels so familiar, you'll wonder if you've somehow lived it before. That's because, in many ways, you have. This isn't about romance alone, though love may be the language it chooses. It's about reflection. The person you are about to meet, or perhaps have already met without fully realizing, is more than just a figure walking into your life. They are a mirror. A reminder. A key to the room you've locked inside yourself for far too long. And through them, you'll feel something wake up, a sense of who you were before life taught you to be careful with your heart. The energy you're stepping into is beautifully illustrated by the Lover's card. But this isn't just about emotional attraction or the spark of new affection. The deeper message of this card is about integration, the inner union between the pieces of yourself that have long been divided. The part of you that feels too much and the part that tries to stay strong. The dreamer and the realist. The giver and the one who silently yearns to receive. This person, whoever they may be, will not complete you. Instead, they'll reflect the pieces you've buried and gently guide you back toward wholeness. Sometimes we miss these encounters because we expect them to arrive with certainty and clarity. But real, soul-aligned moments don't always come packaged in fireworks. More often, they come wrapped in quiet warmth. In a conversation that feels like coming home. In laughter that feels older than it should. In a gaze that leaves you both seen and slightly unsettled. These are not accidents. They are orchestrated meetings, but not in a mystical sense. They are aligned by timing, by readiness, by the quiet prayer your heart whispered when no one was listening. As you walk into the days ahead, be open to these subtleties. Pay attention not just to who appears, but to how they make you feel. If someone speaks and you find yourself remembering something you never knew you forgot, stay curious. If their presence feels both grounding and expansive, honor that. And if they challenge you to be more honest, more vulnerable, more present, see that as a gift, not a disruption. There's also a gentle reminder I want to offer here, one that echoes the kind of loving wisdom passed down through generations. When a connection is meant for you, it won't require you to shrink, change, or chase. It will invite you to unfold. To breathe deeper. To return to your natural rhythm. What is right for you will not pull you out of yourself, it will draw you further in. And so I ask you, Libra, with all the grace that lives in your heart, have you ever met someone who made you feel like you'd been there before? Like they cracked something open in you that you didn't even know was closed? If so, you're not alone. These moments happen more than we speak about, because they defy explanation. But that doesn't make them any less real. Stay soft. Stay aware. And most of all, stay open. Because sometimes the most important keys are hidden in the hands of others, not to hold on to forever, but to unlock something sacred within yourself. And when you feel that click, subtle, unspoken, unforgettably, you'll know it wasn't chance. It was always meant to be. Sometimes abundance doesn't arrive with fanfare, it arrives in the form of clarity. And for you, Libra, this is one of those times when your clarity around self-worth is quietly transforming the way you attract prosperity. After the emotional stirrings and soul-level awakenings we've touched on, this chapter is about grounding. It's about taking that newfound inner knowing and turning it into something practical, stable, and valuable. And that value? It begins with you. You've never been the type to chase money for its own sake. Your compass leans more toward meaning, balance, beauty, and connection. But the truth is, material abundance is simply another language through which life mirrors back our sense of worth. Not as a reward, but as a reflection. When you finally realize that your ability to create beauty, inspire peace, or guide others toward harmony is not only valuable but needed, something shifts. That soft-spoken power of yours becomes magnetic. The Queen of Pentacles represents this energy with grace. She doesn't hustle to prove herself. She nurtures her resources and respects her time, because she knows what she brings to the table. She doesn't underestimate her presence, her skills, or her impact. That's the energy you're stepping into now. It's not about becoming someone else, it's about allowing the fullness of who you already are to be recognized, first by yourself, and then naturally by others. If you've ever felt hesitant to ask for what you're worth, especially in creative or service-oriented work, this is your cue to rewrite that narrative. There is nothing unkind about expecting to be supported for the energy you share with the world. In fact, honoring your gifts enough to give them a value is an act of alignment, not arrogance. Generosity and self-respect can coexist. You can pour from your heart and still protect your time. You can uplift others without abandoning your own foundation. Think of this like a garden. You've been planting seeds of grace, empathy, and creativity for years. Now, the soil is ready. But your harvest depends on your willingness to receive. Receiving doesn't always feel comfortable for Libra souls. You give so easily, and asking can feel like imbalance. But sometimes, the most giving thing you can do for the world is to stand firmly in your own deserving. Take a moment to list 3 things you do with excellence. Maybe you bring calm into tense spaces. Maybe you create visuals that move people emotionally. Maybe you write, teach, organize, support, or imagine solutions where others see problems. Whatever they are, write them down. Don't judge them. Just name them. Then ask yourself, have I been treating these skills like hobbies or like currencies? If you're underestimating what comes naturally to you, it's time to adjust. In a season of rising energy like this one, even a subtle shift in your beliefs around money can unlock new streams of income, recognition, and ease. You don't need to chase your presence already attracts. What you do need is to stop hiding behind humility that dims your light. There's wisdom in being modest, yes. But there's also a quiet power in declaring, I am worthy of thriving. I am ready for lasting support. Just as we are taught to give freely, we are also reminded not to withhold blessings from ourselves. Don't turn away from the opportunities that are trying to meet you because they feel too much or too soon. They're here now because you're ready now. So if this part of the journey feels different, less emotional, more grounded, it's because you're anchoring into a new foundation. One built not on approval from others, but on your own calm certainty. Trust that. And allow abundance to meet you with the same grace you've given so freely to others. Healing doesn't always begin with grand gestures. Sometimes, it starts with the simplest truth, that you are allowed to love yourself first. And for you, Libra, someone whose nature is to listen, to compromise, and to hold peace in even the most chaotic moments, this truth is especially important. You've often loved in ways that required you to bend. You've made room for others, softened your voice, and sometimes swallowed your own needs, all in the name of keeping harmony intact. But harmony, real harmony, cannot exist when your heart is out of balance. This part of your journey isn't about waiting for someone else to see your worth. It's about remembering that your worth was never meant to be earned, it was always yours. If you're in a relationship right now, consider whether you've been showing up as your full self, or only a version of you that keeps things smooth. Sometimes love needs friction, not the kind that wounds, but the kind that brings growth. It's okay to express what you need. It's okay to ask for the same kind of care you so naturally give. And if you're moving through life solo at the moment, this is not an empty space. It's sacred ground. A place where you get to gently clear out the debris of past heartbreaks and unspoken hopes. You get to make space for a new connection, but first, that connection must begin within. It starts when you stop waiting for love to arrive and start choosing to live as if love is already present in the way you speak to yourself, care for yourself, and hold space for your feelings. The card that mirrors this season of emotional restoration is Temperance. It's a card of blending, not rushing. Of patience. Of divine pacing. It reminds you that love isn't a fire that consumes, it's a light that warms. You don't need to chase it. You just need to stop dimming your own. A beautiful practice for this time is to write a letter to someone you once loved. It could be someone who hurt you or someone who simply wasn't meant to stay. You don't have to send it. This is not about their healing. It's about yours. Say everything that was left unsaid. Then fold the letter and let it go. Burn it, bury it, or place it somewhere safe. Release what no longer belongs in your energy. And then, plan a day just for you. A date where you wear what makes you feel most like yourself. You don't need a reason. You don't need someone else to justify it. Walk through a park. Take yourself to dinner. Smile at your own reflection and mean it. That's not indulgence, that's alignment. There's a kind of love that's waiting for you on the other side of this. But it won't arrive through longing or wishing. It will arrive when you stop looking outward to be chosen and begin standing firmly in your own value. That's what draws in the right kind of people. Not when you're perfect, but when you're real. When you know your softness is strength, your sensitivity is intelligence, and your heart is not a weakness but a guide. We are told, through many forms of wisdom, that we must treat others as we wish to be treated. But too often, we forget to include ourselves in that teaching. So today, treat yourself with the same gentleness, patience, and compassion that you offer so freely to others. That's where it all begins. And if you feel a shift happening in you now, a soft ache or a quiet clarity, trust that it's part of the healing. You're not starting over. You're starting deeper. And from that place, love will have no choice but to find you. Gently, fully, and in a way that honors everything you've become. And now, dear Libra, as we reach the close of this sacred space we've shared, I invite you to pause just for a moment and feel the weight of what has awakened within you. This journey wasn't just a reading. It was a remembering. A soft call back to the essence of who you truly are beneath the expectations, the roles you've played, and the quiet compromises you've made just to keep the peace. You are not here to blend in. You are here to bring balance, to offer beauty not just in how you look or speak, but in how you hold space for others and, most importantly, for yourself. You've always known, somewhere deep in your being, that your energy carries something different. You move gently, but with purpose. You love generously, yet often forget to refill your own cup. But the truth is, the world doesn't just need your kindness, it needs your clarity, your courage to choose what is right over what is easy. The way you bring people together, the way you soften harshness with presence alone, this is a gift. But now, it's time for that gift to include you. Can you feel the shift beginning? That subtle but undeniable sense that something in your life is ready to rise? This is not the end of a reading, it's the beginning of an entirely new vibration. One that says, I no longer dim myself to be accepted. I no longer postpone my joy. I choose to walk in alignment with who I really am, even when the world asks me to be someone else. So I ask you, Libra, what would your life look like if you loved yourself as deeply as you've loved others? What if you spoke to yourself the way you comfort a friend? What might open for you if you stopped apologizing for being sensitive, intuitive, or slow to decide, because those are not flaws, they are features of your design. And maybe, just maybe, those very qualities are the compass you've been searching for all along. What step can you take today that honors your truth? What belief can you release to make space for peace? These aren't small questions. They are seeds. And your answers will be the beginning of your next bloom. If something in this message touched you, if it stirred something quiet and true inside, then leave a comment below and let us know. What resonated most with you today? What are you ready to release or receive? Type, I am ready to live in tune with my soul frequency, if you feel called to affirm this shift. Let your words be a declaration not to the world, but to yourself. And if you found value in this journey together, I gently invite you to like this video. It's more than an algorithmic nudge, it's a ripple. A signal that says, yes, I'm here. I'm open. I'm part of this energetic circle. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to Zodiac Whisper Tarot, where each message is crafted not just to guide but to help you reconnect with the wisdom you already carry. Thank you, from my heart to yours, for spending this time with me. Your presence is felt, your energy is sacred, and your path is unfolding in exactly the way it was always meant to. Until next time, keep breathing with intention, keep walking in grace, and above all keep listening to the whisper within. It knows the way.